And it's your boy Jose Ortega, Non-Millennial Millennials Podcast, No Remorse Podcast Network, House of Spades Media in here, episode 72. And I have a very special guest here with me today. Somebody I actually have here that I give a fuck about interviewing, who has something to say. That's hip-hop. Detroit's very own Goddess MC. The truth out here, opening up for Crooked Eye. Obi Trice, nominated for Best Female Artist from Detroit Underground Hip Hop Awards. Detroit's very own, the Crimson Alchemist. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you, man?
I'm great. This moment right now, I was looking forward to this.
Man, it's an honor for sure. Definitely.
Appreciate it. Busy Black set it up, and he asked me, "Yo, you want to interview in Crimson Alchemist?" And I was like, "Nigga, duh! Like this is hip hop. This is hip hop right here. You know what I'm saying? This is hip hop. You're doing big things in the city. 2018 was a big year for you, like man. Huge year. Like I've known you for a while. You know what I'm saying? For a couple of years, but it's like to watch you grow as an artist and as a person at the same time is like crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like watching the process. You know what I'm saying? Trust the process. Big song of the year. Momentum. Big song of the year. You had Stir the Pot with AOS. Where did this was 2018 a plan for you? Where did that all start? Was it out the gate?
Man, so let me tell you how 2018, the whole year of 2018 came about. First off, I told myself back in 2017 that I was going to make 2018 my redemption year because at the end of the end of 2016 and all throughout 2017, I lost a lot of shit. A lot of shit that I haven't even told a lot of people. The end of 2016, I went out to California with my manager to, promote, and he also had a beat battle with his partner out there, and, everything was great. Everything was going really good. Just dropped Vanta Black and everything. I come back from California, and I kid you not, a day after I came back, got fired from my job. My grandmother's house got foreclosed, so we had to move. Everything just came crashing down. Right. Crashing. And it was rough. It was terrible. Ended a lot of friendships and shit like that. Just lost just about everything. Lost my whip. Everything was just back to back to back. And in 2017, I'm like, man, I got to do something about this shit. So, in August of 2017, that's when the planning started for 2018 because I'm I'm making 2018 my year. I'm claiming that shit right now. A lot of people say that towards the end of the year or New
Year's gonna be my year.
The same old shit. Right. But the planning for 2018 came months before it even arrived, and I'm okay, I'm gonna do this 4-track EP with a bonus track, so 5 tracks. I'm going to have my visuals planned out. I'm going to do, all the proper steps as far as marketing and promoting myself and doing as many shows as I could.
Out the gate, that was the goal.
This
is just, I'm going to fuck this whole shit up for 2018.
Period.
Period.
And I'm I don't know how I'm going to do it. I ain't got the funds, really, because at the time, I was doing delivery, pizza delivery and shit. And I'm man, I'm getting paid minimum wage, but I'm going to make this shit happen. And I did. I did just that.
Oh, that's dope. Cause people even just to that, people look at it shit, nigga, if you ain't selling dope, you ain't no way you can get on in the rap game. That shit ain't true.
It's not.
You know what I'm saying? You can, if you put forth the time and effort, you know what I'm saying, make that plan like you did, it can happen for fucking anybody. You
Absolutely.
Know what I'm saying? The talent is where it starts, and if you want to groom that talent to make some bread, you feel me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Motherfuckers just want to be all right, fuck it, I want to make some bread. You know what I mean? But that whole process there is a process to the shit. You know what I'm saying? It starts with one thing and it leads to the rest. But there has to be a plan in place. You know what I'm saying? So last year was for somebody that I know that's an MC, that was just that was inspiring to me. Because it was first step, and then next thing I see is the next step you doing, you did E4 and the seismic toss video, and I'm just damn, this is it seemed really planned out and very organized as an artist.
Absolutely.
Was E4 the project you dropped last year, was that a part of was that a part of the plan too, or you just like, fuck it, I just want to do some music, or was it just like, yo, I have to do a project itself?
Absolutely. And it's funny because E4 has been in the talks, like right after I had dropped Vanta Black. I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna drop E4, but that's a project that I do want to do. But like, because E4 actually wasn't going to come out until either this year, 2019, or 2020. But I'm like, you know what, forget it, I gotta drop something. It's only 4 or 5 tracks. That really ain't shit to, just record. You just gotta plan everything. So yeah, that was definitely a part of the plan for sure. Like,
yeah, we come from that era where full body projects is a thing. Like
absolutely.
You had 18, 21 songs and shit. And like, when did you start like rapping, like, or wanting to rap?
Well, shit, I've been writing since I was 8 years old. Like, I'll be 26 this year, but like, as far as like taking it seriously, 18, so about 7-8 years now.
Yeah, 7-8 years. It was like still full body projects, and that's where like a lot of our minds were consumed as consumers. Was like, yo, that's what an album has to be. Now with the new like landscape and how people consume music just in general, like 5 songs is pretty. It fits the caliber for most people's just attention span. So it's like, just as a project itself, I think it's dope.
Thank you.
But it's like, for it to be as dope as it is, to be easily consumable for even the least impatient, I guess, consumer, that's like that's ingenious. That I think that's a lot for most of us to try and do. You know what I'm saying? Condense that artistry and make it great. Like, that's really dope. Like, for last year, I put you up there with Pusha T.
Wow. and he's nominated for the Grammy, so that means a lot.
Yeah, he's nominated for a Grammy, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, he had 7 songs, like you said, you had 5, like, that works for certain people, when you top tier MCs. And I think that's why you was on, like, that bill with Crooked Eye, and Obi Trice and everything last year. And speaking of that, like, what was that like for you, like, being in the room with those type guys, like that caliber of artists?
It was awesome. Well, for starters, I ain't gonna like sugarcoat it and make it seem like it was just great the whole way, because like first off, the promoter that set it up, I've done work with him before, and he's something. That's the nicest way to put it.
He's like, one of those kind of guys.
He's something. But yeah, and I didn't know he was the promoter of it until a few days before the show, and I'm like, well, shit, I'm already booked for it. It's kind of too late. So,
right.
But going up to perform in front of all those people and actually running into Crooked and everything, it was worth it. It was well worth it. So.
Were you just like starstruck a little bit?
Yes, man, like, it's funny because like, we were waiting a nice ass minute, for Crooked to get there. I think because I had went on like around 10:30, 11ish, and he didn't get up there until about midnight, 12:30, close to 1. And at that point, I'm like, damn, I've been at work all day and I got to be back up at 4:30 in the morning to go back to work. Yeah. I'm like, I'm ready to go. I'm worn out. So I'm walking out with one of my hype man, my homeboy Blizz. Shout out to Blizz. I'm walking out and I see my manager walking up, and he was like, oh yeah, there's my artist right there. And I turn around, I'm like, oh shit. It's crazy. So, and he was chopping up with me, and he was like, it's a pleasure to meet you. Mark told me all about your music, and right. He was like, I'm looking forward to like listening to your project. And I was just like, I wanted to cry right there, but I'm like, no, we ain't gonna be no bitch. We gonna keep this professional, keep this poker face. Like, thank you, I appreciate it. But on the inside, I'm like, oh my fucking God.
You're gonna cry in the car.
Right. So yeah, that was definitely a blessing for sure that I stuck around.
Yeah, like, I think that's dope. Like, because to see top tier MCs be with other top tier MCs, and even seeing him as an OG, you know what I'm saying, to the game for a while, and being able to like really sit there and chop it up with a new artist, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not mumble rap. Like that, right, you know what I'm saying? That's not that, to where it's like, yo, nigga, I'm gonna need you to chill the fuck out because you about to get popped out here in the streets. But some real like motivational shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we don't see that as much, especially coming from Detroit, Yeah. Like, it's been years over time where it's like, the OGs have been trying to keep the younger generations back, and it's like that process continues, for each cycle of years go through. So like, that's really fucking dope, like, straight up. And Michigan, like the Michigan Comic-Con version, like, that was big for you too. Like that was.
Man.
I'm like, shit, like you getting bills like that though? Like all in 1 year. Like I said, this is a successful year.
Yeah, like a super successful year. Like, and the thing is, because my manager, he's also an artist as well. Shout out to Mark Cooper. He also produces for me too. He did YomaCon in 2017. And he like did the show with like novelists from Clear Soul Forces and Megaran, who's a huge like nerdcore artist as well. And like talking to the guy that was curating everything, he was like, you know, if you like, we can get you on next year. And I was like, okay. But like, you know, when somebody says
like,
shit like that, it's like okay,
maybe,
you know, he's saying it, so it might happen.
Right.
But like when he got back with me, you know, earlier in 2018, he was like, okay, I'm gonna need this and that. So, you know, because we're going to make sure you get in the book as well. And I'm like, oh, this is really happening.
Right.
And it was kind of, I'm like, damn, I want to tell people about this, but I know I have to, you know, keep it hush or whatever until it's time. So, but yeah, YomaCon, it was awesome. I had such a good time because it was actually my first time, like, going down there to experience everything.
Right.
So, like, doing that and then on top of that performing, and then on top of that actually being on a panel talking about like my experience as a hip-hop artist, it was a dream come true. It was like surreal.
That's amazing. I know you with the, you know, the Pokemon and, you know what I'm saying, the
You know,
anime and all that shit. Like I know you fuck with that shit heavy.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's like, for me, the equivalent would be like really like being in a fucking superhero movie. Like I think like that would be my equivalent. Like I'd be geeked up. Like this is huge, you know what I'm saying?
I had a lot of fun.
That's blessed. That's blessed. Now I'm gonna like shimmy over to like the real origin of all this shit, which is you. And this is your first like podcast interview, like
it is actually.
Oh, for sure,
yeah.
For sure. So we getting that origin story and shit. Where did hip hop find you? Now this isn't like the question's a little tricky. When I mean that is like when did hip hop shine its light on you? Not when you first started writing. Like, not when you first started rapping, but when did it was just that moment where it was like, yo, I love this shit.
Man, it hit me. I had to be about, I'd say 6 or 7 years old. And I was just, you know, with my dad. I think we was riding up Van Dyke, close to, like, King High School. And...
the city.
Yeah. Like, east side. Like, some east side, for real. And The Light by Common was playing on the radio. And I'm listening to it. I'm like, man, this is an amazing song. And like, this is before I knew about sampling and everything like that. You know, I'm like, this is really speaking to me.
Right.
Even though I'm like able to grasp it like as much as an adult, because, you know, I'm still super young, but I just like, I liked how it made me feel.
Yeah, it was just something that just was that to you. Like it just hit you.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah,
this is some really good music.
Right, like know? I understand like that. When I say it like that, it was like where did it find you? Like I had a similar experience. Like I was in a car with my sister, and like we was in a Burger King drive-thru, and Mo Money, Mo Problems came on.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not the biggest Biggie fan, you know. It was just something about that song and Mace and Diddy and Biggie all together at that moment when I was like 5 years old, that everything was just like, yo, I love this shit. I don't care about nothing else. Yeah. I like this.
Yeah.
You know, it does come down upon you like that, and then it's like, where do you go from there, really? You know, it's like we see what happened to you. You know, it was just from there it was writing. So did your writing start with hip hop, or did it start off as poetry?
Actually, it was a little bit of both, because my older sister, she was actually like heavy into poetry. Like she would go to different poetry slams like downtown and like Today Say and stuff like that. So it did branch off from poetry first, definitely. And like I remember the first song like I actually wrote to. I think I wrote to that Young Bloods beat, that if you don't give a damn, we don't give a fuck. Yeah. And it's funny, like thinking back on it, I think I was about 8 or 9 when I had wrote to it. And like I was talking about some shit I wasn't doing, like shooting niggas, like some whole Grand Theft Auto shit. And it's so funny looking back. Right. I'm like, this was good for an 8-year-old, but like looking at it now, I'm like, this is terrible. But you know,
you ate, you trying something for the first fucking time. You know what I'm saying? It's like either work or it work. You know what I mean? Work or it don't. But you can choose to make it work.
Exactly.
But damn, really? That's where it started? Young Bloods?
Yeah. Like writing. because I really like the beat. I'm like, man, this is cool. I like this. So that's where it started.
Wasn't no mumble rap back in those days. Motherfuckers was mad. Like the music that we was listening to, motherfuckers was nigga mad.
Like Nuck If You Buck, man, that's the mad nigga anthem.
Real shit. And it still get 26-year-old niggas up like you. Let's go to the spot, nigga. It's about to go down. Man, fuck them niggas from the south side. You know what I'm saying?
Like if you're a DJ and you play that shit, it's bound to be a brawl to happen right in the middle of the club.
Real
like
shit.
You setting that shit up, like somebody getting shot.
Right. Like kids today, like real shit, they actually kind of positive. Like they want to party and you know what I'm saying, do good drugs and you know what I'm saying, see all the colors and shit. And like us, we was like, fuck that shit. Whatever the fuck is gonna hype me up to shoot this nigga on the block, I'm listening to it. Like it's like nigga, why you mad?
It's like an episode of the Boondocks. Just throw a chair. Somebody, I'm mad. It just
shit, that's what Nuck If You Bucky is for niggas like that. Period. So Young Blood sparked the first bars.
Yes.
Which
is funny.
You know what? That's actually kind of unique. You know what I'm saying? Because like nobody gives Young Bloods the credit that they deserve. Right, man. You know what I'm saying? Like. I forgot, like, I seen, like, a clip of them going on YouTube, like, about a week ago. And I was like, no shit, that's Youngbloods.
That's crazy.
Like, in 2019, like, you don't see Youngbloods. That's not even a thing anymore.
You ask the average 15, 16-year-old, they like, who?
Who the fuck is a Youngblood? Me? No, it's not you, bro. It's not you. So, like, with you being a huge anime fan and, like, performing at YumaCon and, like, within that realm, you know what I'm saying, as a fan, like, as well as an MC, like, do you categorize yourself by any means, like, under that umbrella of, like, nerdcore or backpack, maybe?
I do now a little bit, only because, like, that's kind of, like, what I specialize in. Like, I like to talk about everyday shit, like, the everyday struggle, but in, like, a nerdcore type of way, like, using, like, anime references and metaphors and shit like that. But I always try my best to like make it make sense to everyone so that everyone enjoys it. Like they like how it sounds and shit like that. So I try my best not to make it super, super complicated. Like, damn, I don't know what she's talking about, but I like what I'm hearing.
Right, you like what you're hearing.
You know.
Yeah, that's really what it's about. Because it's like, you just an MC. Like the way I look at it is like, there's people that write their bars and really are part of hip hop, that embrace hip hop, and like you can tell that the origin that which started was still within it, you know, still within that artist, and that's the way I kind of categorize it. It's like, are you doing this from a perspective of hip hop, or you know, like what your music is, or is you doing it from the I just want to make music, you know what I'm saying, being like in hip hop and being a musician. As much as they're the same thing, they're two different things. I look at it, you know what I'm saying, and I don't really, particularly me, I don't like categorizing like shit. But if you don't write your own bars, but if you do, if you do a lot of singing and a lot of you don't say words, then that's when I press out, you know what I'm saying. That's why the fuck I give a fuck about this interview. Real MCs, and for you to be a real MC, a femc, lyrical goddess. I think that's the word. Like I fucks with that one. But lyrical goddess. Like, do you think that there is like a wall that certain like female MCs kind of hit at a certain point if they don't show skin?
Absolutely. Like it's definitely a wall, because like when I first started, like with the whole tomboy look and everything, I had a couple people, look and say, give their constructive criticism, like, okay, well, you should do this and you should do that. If you show cleavage, you'll get more attention and shit like that. And in a sense, like, Young M.A. actually broke that wall a little bit, because you don't see too many Young M.A.s like that's like on her level just yet. But I feel like, with her doing what she did with her track, I
feel like they try to underrate her too.
They do. Like, she's dope. Like, as far as in the talks of like the queen of rap right now, of course people gonna put like Cardi and Nicki because that's who they see mainstream and shit. Yeah. You gotta put Young M.A. up there too. Even though, like, me personally, shit, rap, there ain't nobody touching Rhapsody. Period. Like, Nobody's
somebody
touching
else said
Rhapsody.
something.
Nobody's touching Snow the Product.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Shit. Even though she's not dropping too much music, ain't nobody fucking with Jean Grey.
No, absolutely not. And that's why it's like those are like the female MCs that I was like, I feel like the dopest. You know what I'm saying? But we see and like hear on a regular like a Nicki Minaj or a Cardi B who are, you know what I'm saying, or Lil' Kim who's shaking ass or being, you know what I'm saying, being exposed. And it's like, I was really championing Snow the Product because she was like one of the first female MCs I came across by accident. And was like, yo, she's fucking dope. Like I really want to see her like take the fuck off, like take over the world on that shit. Just because it was like, someone has to do it and keep their fucking clothes on.
Right.
Like somebody has to step out and say like, this is what the fuck we're doing over here. It's cool that they got that shit, but we're doing this here.
Exactly.
Like, I'm glad you mentioned Rhapsody because I kind of put y'all in the same pocket. Because it's two elite female MCs who just make good music and don't have to be new to do it.
Right.
Like, period. Like, you don't have to be, like, for niggas, you don't have to be a fucking drug kingpin to fucking have the dopest song on Billboard.
Man, right.
Like, you don't need that shit. You don't need to shake ass to sell records. You can be a dope MC and just sell records. Like, I don't like that. Like, I do believe there's a wall, too. Like, I do agree with you on the wall. I was really hoping that you didn't, so there would be more of an argument about that. Because I'm like, I want her to disagree about this one. Let's get at it. You know, but, that is crazy. Like, Rhapsody, I believe, because I know people, like, a lot of people didn't listen to her last project. I feel like it was one of the best albums of 2017.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like, top 5. Like
Layla's Wisdom was hard.
Yeah, it was consistently in my rotation, and like, even like my mom was like, "You listening to female rap?" I'm like, "Yeah," because this shit is dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's only so far I can experience. You know what I'm saying? Because like, just of the sexual difference, like depending on certain lyrics. So it's the fact when I can press play and all the way through, no matter what track it is, from Layla's Wisdom to E4 to Vance of Black, like, that shit just, like, it rolls perfect. You know what I'm saying? By the way, I mean to tell you, I should have said this at the beginning, but fucking Dairy Queen is, like, the best song ever. Like, Dairy Queen is the best song ever. When I seen that video, I just came back from California, and I was actually smoking a blunt, and I was like, yo, play it back. Like, I sat there the entire time and just watched the fucking video and smoked the entire blunt. Like, that was one of the greatest songs to smoke to ever. Like, one of my personal, like favorites.
And you want to know something funny?
What's up?
I can't stand Dairy Queen anymore.
Word?
I don't like the song anymore. It's
Word?
like, and it's crazy because back then when I made it and, you know, dropped the video and everything, I'm like, man, I love this. I really love this. But now, like, because when did I drop that? 2015, 2016?
I think it was 2015.
15? Yeah. Shit, 4 years later, I don't even like the song. Only because, like, I know I can be so much better than that now.
Exactly.
You know, just, you know, grow. And that's what everybody, like.
You're growing as an artist.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, you shouldn't be 4 years later in the same spot, like, talent-wise as you was before. You know, because you should grow. You know, and it's like, every time I've heard something from you, like, over the years, it's like, because I was first saw you record in 2011, and like I followed ever since, and by like 2014, I'm like, damn, that's nice. Like, that's just crazy. Like, I thought you was dope then, and I'm like, wait, let me replay that. Like, let me run it back, and then it's like this, seeing like how you change up schemes, and you know, you speed up, you slow down, you know, like the differences in beats that you choose. Like, that is like a lot of growth, you know, and it's like certain artists don't want to like get out of that pocket, especially when it's like you're trying to like find a hit, you know, like inorganically, you know, like some hits will just fall upon you, like Momentum last year for you. Like, you like, did you expect that to be like a hit like for you?
Let me tell you how Momentum went for me. So, okay. I actually recorded Momentum a month before I had dropped it, because around the time I was getting ready to drop the Elite 4 project and then the release party short after, and I was like, okay, I do want to have like a follow-up track, you know, drop. It sounds kind of cliche, but I did drop it on my birthday or whatever, May 16th. And I'm
about
like,
to say, fans don't know that if they don't Google. You know?
So, and I'm like, yeah, I do want to drop something that's like, you know, getting people ready for the summer because, you know, it's starting to get warm. I want to have something, yeah, for that. So, you know, I got the beat from my manager, my producer, Mark Cooper. And I'm like, okay, this is something that, you know, people will like.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I still want to stay true to my lyricism. So, you know, writing Momentum, it actually wasn't hard. Like, the funniest thing about it, the easiest part was, like, writing the hook. Like,
right.
I made sure to, like, do it short and simple, something that, you know, people can, like, sing along to, and it's not too complicated. And
can't overcomplicate shit no more.
And, like, mind you, like, I'm more so like a boom bap person, but I wanted to challenge myself as well. I'm like, okay, people like trap. Let me see what I can do with trap. So the direction I had went with that, like, my inspiration for it was actually like that Stranger Things song by Jordan Lucas and Chris Brown.
Oh, okay.
That
really?
And then Logic. So I took their approach on that, and at the same time, you know, stay true to my lyricism and the way I flow. And that's how Momentum was created.
Okay. Damn. How long you been up on the Jordan Lucas?
Oh, I got hip to him. He was doing like I think he did, what freestyle was it?
He got a lot of them shits.
Yeah, he got a lot
of them shits.
Which one? I can't remember which track, but my best friend Yamara, he put me hip to Jordan Lucas, and I had listened to his album, the one that's entitled like with the phone number.
The phone number, yeah.
Yeah. I listened to that, and I'm like, he nice. And then I backtracked, you know, and listened to like Along Came Joyner.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, he nice. I fuck with him. So that's how I got introduced to Joyner Lucas. And then the joint with him, Logic and Tech Nine.
Yeah.
I listened to that, I'm like, damn, this guy's really good.
Yeah, like Jordan. I ain't listened to a shit he did until he dropped that song with Eminem last year. That shit made me backtrack everything.
Yeah.
Like, because I was like, wait, Eminem don't give out features. Like,
right,
who's this guy? Why is he young? He's not 40. Like, let's backtrack. And yeah, like, I think for a lot of people, like, people just got hip to who Jordan Lucas was, and I was like, yeah, because I didn't even see that video until like 3-4 weeks ago. I'm not even going to front, but I'm still getting hip to it. But like, that song really, like, that shit was like my run playlist for like the entire summer. You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta have something to have me hype. You know, especially during the summer, everybody want to, you know, be partying, having fun, booed up. I'm still on my like fucking 2006 Ratchet shit. You know what I'm saying? During the summer, like, that's where I'm still at. But now, like, another thing that, and this is like offside from like the successful year that you've had, there was a lot of beef last year, 2018. Everybody had beef. Drake had all the beef with everybody, but just beefs in general, and it sparked a lot of conversation where, is there rules in beef? Is there no rules? What should be beef? You know what I'm saying? I guess beefable. Like, what the fuck is worth being mad about? Would you entertain a beef?
Well, it depends, because in all honesty, like, beef nowadays, it's a marketing strategy.
Truth.
Period. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've seen it with, you know, Pusha and Drake. We've seen it with shit lately, Tory Lanez and Joyner. Yeah. You know, even Tory Lanez and Royce. You know what I'm saying? Which was insane of Tory. I actually commend him for that, because I'm like,
you might need to
you
stand
must not
down.
have seen, and you talking to sober Royce, like, you must not have seen alcoholic Royce when he had a whole ass fucking rocket launcher in the video.
Shit. Like, he's in that like old, like that OG state where it's like, all right, bro, when I see you, and that's it. Like, and that's a scary fucking thing.
Right,
like,
right.
When I see you, bro. Like, that's it. Like, that shit's crazy.
Yeah.
But would you entertain it? Like, would that, like, if, I guess, like, what would be worth beefing to you? Like, is it like a name call? Is it a diss on talent? You know what I'm saying? Like, or does it have to be like, it would have to be something personal to you?
It depends. It honestly depends. Like I was saying, like, as far as like the marketing strategy or whatever, like, if they want to do it in a marketable way, and if somebody is willing to get murdered on a track, then sure, why not?
Shots fired.
No, as long as it doesn't get, to the point where people are losing their lives. Because it's never that deep.
No.
It's never that deep. I'd never take it there.
Yeah, so
ever.
we keeping it in the realms that
like,
is hip hop.
It could be a form of like friendly competition. That's cool. I'm willing to do that. But as far as like beef, like real beef, it's never that deep.
No.
Ever.
Like, back in the day, it was like shit was so personal. Like shit overstepped, I feel like, in certain aspects. Like, yo, like M to Ja, like, keep my daughter's name out your mouth. Ja did it anyway, and then it's like, then the shit got physical. You know what I'm saying? Them motherfuckers are running up on each other and shit like that. Like, is that? I wouldn't want you to do that. Like, by no means, don't go out here starting beefs, or it's like fighting motherfuckers over beefs and shit. But do you believe there's like any rules to it if it does get to, like, if it does pass over the personal point, like said on the lyrics, so to speak? Like, if someone disses you on a record, but it's quite personal what they said to you, does that just like count as like, all right, fuck it? Or is it like, yo, we need to calm down and like chill everything out? Any rules or no rules?
Just from like what we grew up on, as far as like, Pac and Biggie and shit like that, technically it's no rules. Like, you can literally, like Pac said it. Didn't he say something about like killing one of his kids or some shit like that?
Killing
like
one of his kids,
like,
he fucked his wife. Like,
he
didn't
like,
give a fuck.
Like, back then, had I been older and listened to that, I would have been like, okay, this no. You shouldn't have to bring like kids, family members, and none of that shit. That shouldn't be brought up. And like today, of course, nobody's gonna do that, because we're also in an era of like, people saying like actually speaking out on shit like that. Like, no, that's wrong. Don't do no shit like that. It should just be between you and whoever you battling against or whatever. Yeah. So to speak. So like, I mean, at the end of the day, people gonna say shit. Like, words are just that. They're just words, Talk all the shit you want, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, I think it's like, as soon as someone, like, their ego gets a little popped, whereas, like, they wake up and they just, like, feeling a little saltier without hearing that song, just because that song exists in the world, that's where a lot of the shit just goes, you know what I'm saying, goes on and on and on. Realistically, I, as a consumer, I don't give a fuck about the beef, really. I just care about who really wins the lyrical battle. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because and nowadays, it's so, like, once you attain a fan base, like, especially if it's that key core fan base, they gonna be around for forever. It's kind of hard to get somebody to fuck out of here today legitimately. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, 2006, if you wasn't selling no fucking albums, like, that artist who you was beefing with got you the fuck up out of here, and then the label's gonna do the same exact shit to you. So it's like everything's gone. But like today is like, you can. I remember when they was when Pusha T was beefing with Drake, when that first started happening, that discussion was like, well, Pusha T gonna clean up Drake and get him up out of here. I'm like, bro, Pusha T been in the game for 20 plus, solidified. Drake been here for 10 plus, solidified. Nobody career's dying. Right. So, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. So it really all depends on, like, just who had the better bars. You know what I'm saying? Between Tory, Joyner Lucas, MGK, which I thought was pitiful, but yeah, I thought that shit was pitiful. Coulson can't just to say that you won a fucking rap beef because you didn't like the other diss. Like, once the circle starts, it's gone. Like, right. You know what I'm saying? If you want to do something later on an album, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? I understand the marketing motive by that. That's what motherfuckers used to do. Like, now we get like diss tracks like immediately. Yeah. Like, before it was like you had to wait till motherfucker album or mixtape came out, and then you wait like 6 months later, like, oh shit, he called you, he called you a bitch in April. You know what I'm saying? Like, not giving a fuck. I mean,
and that's why I actually commend Tory Lanez, because people look at Tory Lanez as just a singing nigga. Yeah. But like the back to back with him and Joyner, I'm like, okay, I'm impressed. Yeah. This is getting good, I
don't really like his R&B shit, but him like actually spitting bars, I was like, oh shit. Yeah. Like, if he wanted to do an album worth of that, I'm gonna stream it. Yeah. Like, I'm gonna listen to that shit. Like,
I was definitely impressed.
Like 100%. Now, when did you start to like realize you were dope?
Good question. Because like, you're always gonna be your own worst critic all the time.
Oh yeah. I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit. Like, truth.
I didn't realize it until, believe it or not, it took me years because, in all honesty, when I first started, I couldn't stand the thought of hearing my voice. It was nasally, like it was.
Truth.
I did not want to hear my own shit, but I'm like, okay, in order for you to get better, you have to like listen to your shit like constantly, nonstop. You know,
100%.
so after getting used to like my own voice, I'd say about 4 years, 4 or 5 years, actually around the Dairy Queen era
Dairy
is
Queen.
when I was like, okay, I got something to offer here.
Yeah, like this is like a point where it's like you gotta feel like, yo, I'm dope. Like I can do this shit for real. Like, fuck it. Like that. There's a point where I believe in like any field, if you love doing like whatever you're doing, that no matter how many people tell you like, nah, don't do that. Maybe you should do this differently. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, nah, fuck that shit. I'm dope. I'm good at this. Like, you can kiss my ass. This shit's going to work. And 100%, like, I see it, like, working. Like, the process has been in play, and it's, like, it's moving. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, there's artists that actually own, like, right now, that don't think that they're really good at what they do. And I can see that by the fact that they have a hard time following up what they just did.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I feel like that way about a lot of one-hit wonders.
Mm-hmm.
Is that when they have the one hit, they have the radio hit. And that's really what motherfuckers really want. Especially today. Like, you can make a living off of one fucking radio hit and be set. But when the consumer asks for more, now you have to be like, all right, I can do this, or how the fuck do I do? How did I do shit before, and how can I get there? You know what I'm saying? Do it again. And like, as it with you, it's consistency. It's like, all right, dopeness here, fuck it, I'm gonna control this. Dopeness here, fuck it, I'm gonna control that. You know, and it's just right move after move after like move. That's confidence. That's key. That's like that's like success. Like watching success like happen in front of my eyes, and that's like, you know what I'm saying, like the dopest thing like of all time. You know what I'm saying, to me. Cause like I said, I'm a little biased. I know you. Like, I'm a little biased, but like it really is dope. Like, now, the big moment for last year to me, like, this is when like I felt like I wouldn't say a sense of pride, but I felt like I won some shit, was your nomination for Best Female Artist for the Detroit Underground Hip Hop Awards. Like, when you announced that on Twitter, I was like, what? Like, trophies for real? And it was like real, man, because I watched the year and I'm like, damn, like, that's crazy. Do trophies mean anything to you? Would a Grammy mean anything?
Well, a Grammy would be great to have. Like, I wouldn't even have it at my house. I'd have it right at my parents' house. Like, that would be great. But at the end of the day, shit, if I never get a Grammy, I'd be okay with that. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't gonna hold you up. The best trophy that I've ever gotten in my life, and it will always be the best trophy, is in high school for like mock elections. We had our own Grammys or whatever. And like, I got nominated for class rapper. And like, I ain't even gonna hold you up. I wasn't super duper popular or anything like that in high school.
Right.
You know, I knew people here and there and shit like
Right.
that.
And people knew you.
You know, and like, rapping was my thing. Like, I would literally skip class to be at lunch 2-3 hours out the day just to be at the table rapping. And like, the girl that I was running against, shout out to Melinda. She's like an amazing singer, like dope, and she can spit too.
Shout outs.
Like, she was like super popular, and I'm like, shit, I don't even expect to win this shit, but I'm nominated, I'm gonna go anyway.
Right.
And when they had said like I had won that, I'm like, wow, I didn't think, I was that good, because mind you, that's around the time where I started taking music seriously.
It's humbling.
Like, that moment right there, I was like, maybe I should actually give this a shot. Like, had I not won that, even if I didn't win that, but just getting recognized and getting nominated for that small thing, that's the reason I'm here today, right now, talking to you.
It starts in those little spots. It really does start in those little spots. Like, because people like hold trophies to being like this huge like accolade that needs to be attained, like this golden piece of like bronze or whatever the fuck it is, just means so much. But it really don't. It's the little things.
Absolutely,
You know, it's
yeah.
definitely the little things. Like for you to start off at the lunch table, like where I'm at right now, sitting in the seat talking to you, really just started off with me talking shit with Ace in science class. Like that's really where it started, to where it just like, all right, bro, I think I can do something with it. Like I think I can talk for a living.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of people could do that. Not a lot.
You're right. You're absolutely
not
right.
a lot of people can fucking like, can like say like, all right, here a beat. I'm gonna write this, 3 verses, a hook, and a fucking bridge. Like that takes something, and like in the mind process, and it's like when you kind of find like your groove in it organically, that's when like the little things really do mean something. Like that my collection, it's just like that little spot where it's like, this was the moment where, or this object was really what gave me the confidence. You know what I'm saying? Like that's really what it is. Like, because it's like once you have it, you have it. You don't need nobody to validate that shit to you.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like Nas doesn't have a Grammy, but that doesn't mean that he's not one of the greatest MCs to ever breathe life.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying? How would you feel if you won tonight?
Man, well, for starters, the price going up off of that period. Price going up for sure. Features, shows, that's going up first and foremost.
Get your bag.
But man, like if I win tonight, it'll be a great way to start the year. But you know what? Like at the end of the day, like even if I don't win, all I wanted was like to be acknowledged. I'm like, because like I was trying to run for a couple years back when I actually dropped a little bit after I dropped Ramen and before I did Vanta Black. Okay. Like I'm like, man, I need to get on this list some kind of way. And at the time, I'm like, okay, I didn't get nominated, so it's not my time just yet.
Right.
And at that point, I was like, you know what? Who cares if I get nominated?
Right.
Let me just continue to put out dope content that people like. Let me market and promote as much as I can, and just stay true to myself. And it came to a point where I didn't care about getting nominated. And it's funny because the moment I don't care, boom.
Yep.
That's when I get
like it happens.
So, whether I win or not, I had an amazing year last year.
Damn
I'm
right.
going to have an even more amazing year this year. And we just, it's all things are going up from here.
What can we expect from 2019? Like, that you can say?
That I can say.
That you can say.
Definitely dropping another project this year. I'm not gonna get into too many details with that, but a project is gonna drop this year. Probably another 4 or 5 track project. Definitely some visuals, some singles and stuff. I'm gonna try to do more features this year as well.
Alright.
Yeah, it's a lot of big shit happening that I can't really say just yet.
Okay.
But announcements are coming pretty soon.
Big shit.
But a lot of stuff, a whole lot of stuff. I'm excited for this year for sure.
Right. It's been like a pleasure just like sitting here, like I said before at the top of the podcast, like to be able to watch this with like my own eyes, like see the growth and everything. Like it's crazy to me. So like one of my final questions before we wrap this all up, like I think like this one is like the most important one, because I think this is like for anybody that does anything in life, like there has to be like an end game kind of like accolade to what you would want your career to be. Like that's how I just generally feel. But it doesn't have to be like trophies or shit like that. But it's just, what do you want your mark on hip hop to look like?
Well, to simply put it, I, as Crimson Alchemist, want to be considered like to like people. I want to be a household name for starters, and I want to be that person. Like if somebody mentions me, they be like, "Man, she's by far one of the best MCs, male or female, that I've ever heard." That's the point where I want to get at. And like even though I've been doing this for almost a decade, and no matter how many people tell me, "Oh, you're so dope, you're amazing, you're like doing really, really big shit right now."
Right.
At the end of the day, I still humble myself and say, like, I'm still nowhere where I want to be, where I see myself being, and I know I can get even better, and I just want to strengthen, like, all my aspects as far as, like, making music, being a performer, an entertainer, like, just an all-around amazing artist.
I definitely believe, like, wholeheartedly, like, from the bottom of my heart, like, that you will get there. And like I said, it's just a pleasure being able to watch it. Like, this ain't a movie. Like, this is me watching this with my own eyes, and like with like artists like you, like especially from the city, like the sky's the fucking limit. Like because there's so much talent, and like you put that hard work to that shit, and it shows, and you keep delivering and delivering and delivering. And it's been a fucking pleasure to have you on like the Non-Millennial Millennials podcast. It's been like real shit. Like especially for the first one of the year, my first real one. Period. Like I sincerely appreciate you being here.
Thank you for having me, for sure. It's definitely a great honor to be, here with you guys and talking.
Like, yeah, like this is something new for us. You know what I'm saying? We're growing, we're adapting. You know what I'm saying? Starting off with doing like little fucking like newscaster mics is like pinch onto your shirt and they pick up terribly to where we're at right now. So, like it's growth. It's growth. You know what I'm saying? Definitely growth. Where can we find you? All your socials and everything like that.
You can find me at TC Alchemist _ on absolutely everything. That's Facebook. I got a fan page on there. Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram. Like, you can find me on there if you just type in TC Alchemist _
All right. That's episode 72. First interview with the Crimson Alchemist. I have a feeling that this is going to be like one of those stretching Bobito joints that's going to be whipped out in a fucking tape. You know what I'm saying? Like the equivalent of what that is 20 years from now. It's your boy Jose Ortega, the Non-Millennial Millennials podcast, No Remorse Podcast Network, House of Spades Media. Thank you, the Crimson Alchemist, for being here with us today. And we out.